Hello and welcome to the first official Poorly Timed podcast.
Hello.
We're your hosts, Bailey and Taj, and I reckon we'll just jump straight into it. Taj, what do you want to talk about today?
Well, first topic on the agenda is a bit, once again, poorly timed, but The Last Jedi came out last year, and we're not happy with it. And we're here to talk about it.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people were happy with it, but a lot of people were happy with it. It's different. It's definitely a different take on the Star Wars franchise.
Yeah.
So Taj had the idea to just talk about it and say what we would change basically in the film itself and the series.
Yeah. Because we're film students, we make stories for our studies, and we're going to say, how the fuck would we fix this piece of shit?
We like to give our opinions on movies that are generally regarded as good movies too.
Yeah.
Alright, yeah. Well, we'll just start with the movie first, because I think we'll start small and then we'll build into the whole series.
Yeah, sounds like a good idea.
So for anyone listening who hasn't seen it yet, spoiler alert, but seriously, it's been out for how long? 3 months. So if you haven't seen it, whatever. It's a massive leap. The Last Jedi.
Yeah, they needed to do something different after Force Awakens, and everyone's like, this is too basic. And they've tried that, and there's just left with massive gaps and plot holes. It's not good.
Yeah, no. It's... Rian Johnson is the director, isn't he?
Yeah. So, Rian Johnson, he's not directed much, which is probably what executives would like, because then they have complete control over things.
Yeah.
I think the most notable thing he's done is Looper, I believe.
Yes.
That was a
fantastic movie.
Very great movie, but when you're dealing with franchises, it's very different.
Yeah, because obviously dealing with a franchise as big as Star Wars, you have to kind of stick to what the fans know and what the producers know.
Yeah, there's expectations for the universe. It's really...
I'm just looking up what Rian Johnson has directed, and he's done very few films. He's done about 5 films.
Yeah.
And the most notable ones are Star Wars and Looper, so that's kind of I feel like you said just before, it's kind of a safe bet.
Yeah, it's Ridley Scott did interviews, someone asked him, would you ever do a Star Wars movie? And he had said no, because the producers would never let me have full creative control, which is what a person like Ridley Scott really needs. Yeah. But he says they love to get their directors young, different, so then they have complete control over what they think it should be.
See, that was a bit rough though, because they got J.J. Abrams, which was a massive step, but he did the Star Trek franchise, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, so I think they felt safe doing that because he's
done a lot of those.
Yeah, he basically had to direct both a reboot and an homage to the original Star Trek series. Yeah. So I think they felt safe with that, and that he understood where they wanted to go and they understood what he wanted to do, so it was kind of like a mutual thing. But with Rian Johnson, they kind of just let him do his thing, but it was still kind of what they wanted to do, I guess.
Yeah, a little bit. I think let's start with what we'd fix with the movie.
Yeah.
So then we'll go out to everything. So first off, one thing I want to say is that whole sequence where you have that, I need a master hacker. Who was it? The orange.
Oh, I can't remember
the little orange.
Oh yeah, Maz something or other, I think.
Yeah, she can't do it because there's an uprising or something. It's sorry, you're gonna have to find a master code breaker by yourself, and they go through this whole kind of quest to find a master code breaker. Go to this fantastic casino planet, which was pretty cool to see, but it provided nothing going forward.
Yeah, it didn't really do anything for the story.
Yeah, it was a filler.
Yeah. And
first thing I'd say is get that out of the way.
Yeah.
Cut that. Maz can come in because you're reintroducing a character they've already seen. Yeah. She was introduced beautifully, and I think she would have been a perfect fit for it, but apparently not. So yeah, it's kind of funny because that sort of shit that they try and do, it's very
it's kind of annoying because you have so many characters already that are in there, and then they're like, okay, we need to shoehorn another character in here that's only going to be in it for 3.5 seconds.
Yeah, and who was it? It was like Benedict Del Toro?
Yeah, and they kind of wasted him because he's a great actor.
He's a great actor, and he's just there because he's betrayed them and for no reason.
Yeah, and that's just kind of like, well, okay.
Yeah, it's like, oh, okay.
The next one I can kind of see brewing in your mind, whatever the hell happened with Leia.
Oh my god.
So, in the film, one of the stormtroopers blows up the command center, the bridge. That's what I'm looking for. Of one of the rebels.
The lead rebel
ship, and Leia gets ejected into space.
And fucking frozen everything. Flies straight back into where the missile hit, and they gets picked up by Poe Dameron. And what the fuck?
Yeah, it's just like,
I was laughing my head off going, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah, it was one of those things where it's like, oh, hey, look, Leia can also do this magic as well. She's not... It's... I don't know. I just don't know.
It just shouldn't have happened.
Yeah, no, it really shouldn't have, because, like, think about how Han Solo died in Force Awakens. That was such like a massive send-off, such a massive moment in the movie.
Yeah.
And then you're like, okay, so it's happening here with Leia too, especially since Carrie Fisher had passed away. They can't, like, one of the logical things to do would be to either kill off her character or retire her character.
Which for a character like Leia would never happen. So.
No, it's like...
I thought an early send-off would have been different, but useful, like something that, it affects the characters. It's a big blow to them and putting them into like a deeper dark hole than they're already in.
Yeah.
So, it makes that climax and that rise so much more satisfying. But apparently that's not to be.
Yeah, no, and like, the whole thing seemed like it was, they'll blow up the bridge, send her into space, and that's how she dies in the movie. But then they changed their mind. It was like, oh wait, no, let her fly back in. She'll be fine.
Yeah.
We don't want her to die yet. And that's just kind of like, well, just let her.
It's a pretty poor way to try and do something like that. But
yeah,
I think with the whole thing, Luke as well. Like that whole first sequence on the island was really good, but he stayed on the island.
Yeah, but like they had the whole thing where he projects himself onto the planet to face Kylo, which was also a pretty good scene.
That was a great scene, but I felt like having his presence there as a whole needed to happen. Like I think the whole character arc of Luke as a whole, it's like, did it make sense?
Yeah, no.
Like you
it relies a lot on people actually going and looking for the answers rather than just understanding in the movie.
Which in script writing 101 is the worst thing you can do in a film.
Like, let the audience...
Yeah, you need to reveal the information to the audience in order to, get them to have an idea.
Yeah.
But you just...
Well, I saw the other day that Rian Johnson went on Twitter and did this whole thread just saying like, oh, this is why Luke was cut off from the Force, and then when he came back, it was such a stress, and that's why he died. I'm just like, well, that's like, at least put it in a way where it's more showing him in a better light, other than he's just this dick who disappeared for 30 years.
And I see this meme on Facebook, and I know it's not the most reliable of information, but it's like, in Return of the Jedi, he's like, his father's the Sith Lord. Yeah. He still sees the good in him and, saves him. But Kylo Ren has one, bout of Sith tendencies, and it's time to chop his fucking head off.
He has a fucking emo stretch, and which never stops, apparently. But he has, like, his teen angst phase. And then Luke's like, oh, better kill him.
Yeah, it doesn't make much sense, and I don't... I'm just not sure. And
yeah.
There's a lot of things I would do differently. You know, like obviously Master Codebreaker thing, but yeah, even that climax, like
mic fell over.
That mic fell over. That's convenient. Let's try and fix
Just
that.
drop it down again. There we go.
That works.
There we go. Where's the spike? There it is.
There it is. But yeah, I think even in the first movie, having Luke, you know, he was like IMDb, he was top of the list.
Yeah.
For Force Awakens, so like, holy shit, it's gonna be so good. But I don't.
And then he wasn't in it at all.
He wasn't in it at all, and that was not too bad. But I think it would have been cool to see him, you know, reunited.
Yeah.
Like, I think Mark Hamill said in a press interview, you know, sometime, I think on the premiere, it's like, it was a real missed opportunity. I really would have loved, you know, Luke to come in as well.
Yeah.
In that scene with Han, and then he sees, you know, Han die, and that would be like, you know, a really
that would be
push.
like a good introduction back for a character for him to come back and then see such a traumatic thing like that, and then he'll be like, okay, I'm gonna come back and I'll be Master Jedi again, and everyone's hope.
Yeah, it is a big missed opportunity.
Yeah.
But there's not really much you can do about it.
Yeah, no, like there were, like it's not a bad movie per se. It was just a little bit disappointing, I reckon, in a sense that it tried to do too much, and then we were expecting so much more of it.
Yeah, but it, especially with Force Awakens, the Last Jedi, it felt very Empire Strikes Back-y.
Yeah.
And I don't mind that kind of, you know, that gap where they're on the run. It's like they really got them pinned, but it felt a bit too much of that element. Like,
yeah.
The first part, the opening act was, you know, they're on the run, and I'm like, oh no, not this.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, then there's that final scene with all the, you know, the again AT-ATs just.
Yeah.
You know, flying into there. I'm like, really?
It's like, because, what do you call it? Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
Is probably regarded as the best of the original trilogy, you'd say.
Yeah.
And then, what do you think worked in that doesn't work in...
Well, it had one of the biggest secrets of cinema history.
That's true, yeah.
It's the first time they were on the run. Like, you know, it was such a fresh, original idea.
Yeah, I guess that's right, because the first time that you see the good guys having to retreat, because usually it's like, oh, the good guys are winning so well, but oh, wait, they gotta leave now. They're not winning.
They're not winning. They're on the run. It's such a... Look, the character arc is so well defined.
Yeah.
And then you've got like you've got true betrayal with Lando Calrissian.
Yeah.
Doing what obviously he needs to do.
Yeah.
And that just makes it so much better.
Hmm.
But with the Last Jedi, I will say one thing. One character would completely get rid of is Rose.
Yeah. That was
she is so annoying. The love arc between her and Finn was...
That's completely...
it's unnatural. Yeah. It just doesn't flow. And it's just like, you see two characters in it. If you want to make that, it's like yeah, that makes sense. It seems cool. It seems natural. But it just doesn't work. It seems very forced.
Yeah.
And the archetypes don't even match that well either, I reckon.
Not really, no. Because you got...
Like, she's a nobody engineer, and he's seen as, you know, a hero of the Resistance.
Yeah.
That just doesn't quite make sense.
Well, in a sense that, like, they met by, like, chance.
Yeah.
And then, like, all of a sudden, they're going off to find a Master Codebreaker together. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
You can't find a Master Codebreaker together because she's the only engineer around.
Yeah.
And it's just like, come on, man.
Yeah.
And she ruined a perfectly good end to Finn. Like, that death, like, as much as I'm like, really, do I want to see this? It seemed like it would be alright. Yeah. Like a necessary sacrifice.
Wait, did she die though?
She did. She's in a coma again. Like, she's like, you know, he was, you know, Finn was at the end of Force Awakens, you know, just absolutely.
Yeah, it's like we've been saying this whole time. It's seriously, there's so much stuff that has just been shoehorned in. Yeah. For the sake of being there, and I honestly don't know what's going to happen for was it number
9.
Number 9.
Yeah. I will say I did not see that part where Snoke dies.
No, that was
I
a
was
massive surprise.
surprised by that. And I think it was really good.
Yeah, I think it was a good thing.
But coming into number 9, I don't think it's going to be that great because, first of all, I was really interested to know who Snoke was.
Yeah.
Like, someone with that amount of force power not being able to be seen in any of the previous movies is big.
And then also to, like, be able to, like you said, like, have such a strong force power and manipulate other people's force powers so that they have visions of each other.
Yeah, like they connect each other through force.
Yeah.
That's massive. Like,
and then also, the dude restarted, like, the Empire, basically.
Yeah.
Which is, like, a massive feat in of itself, because the Empire was basically in rubble at the end of Return of the Jedi.
Yeah,
it's like, it's a massive thing to just kill him off without, like, giving any backstory.
Yeah.
But it was a good surprise, so it's kind of like a double-edged sword there.
Yeah, you kill off kind of some potential for some backstory, but it was a real defining moment for Kylo Ren. But I still think, everyone's like, oh my god, Kylo Ren is so powerful. I don't see that.
No, I don't see that. He's a little whiny bitch.
Yeah, he's a whiny little asshole.
He's an Anakin Skywalker. Like, he has the potential to be a good character if he just made up his freaking mind.
Yeah, he's not well defined.
No,
and it's a bit messy.
Yeah, and he's like, and I think if they kind of develop that relationship between him and Rey as well, like everyone's saying it should be a romantic relationship. I see that.
I've seen memes like
Rilo.
It's disgusting.
No, well, like, because I've also seen other people being like, violence towards each other is not a precursor to love. Like, it shouldn't be like that. And, like, I don't think it should be love. I think it should be just friendship. And then I don't think it should be friendship.
I always see those things like it's like a mutual respect for each other.
Yeah.
It's like, you're enemies, you're on the wrong side, but you've got that respect for each other. And there'll be circumstances where you won't have to do, have to kill each other.
Well, I guess that's what they did at the end of The Last Jedi. Because they fought off the guards together, and that was like an amazing scene.
Yeah.
And then you kind of saw a glimpse of that. Oh, excuse me. Mutual respect.
Yeah.
But then it had to go back to Kylo being like, I'm now supreme leader, blah, blah, blah. And then just like,
But I think also one more thing with The Last Jedi, I think probably keep it this last thing, is Rey's parents.
That was completely unnecessary.
I think it's great for her arc if she's, she's from nobody.
Yeah.
That's perfectly fine, but that's not really too great when you're just like, you leave it to suspicion. Like, you leave her parents to nothing, and then it's like, they were nobodies.
Well, yeah, that was such a big thing in the first movie. Like, you kind of were like, okay, so this little girl got left on Jakku to basically die.
Yeah.
That's what it seemed anyway. It had to be someone of significance because they didn't want something to happen to her or her to turn out some certain way.
Yeah.
And then all we got was, oh yeah, they were just nobody.
Yeah.
Which is like, I get where you're coming from when you say it's good that she came from nobody, because then it's kind of like she defined herself as a character and not like from this trauma. But like, I don't know. It's a very fine line.
Yeah. But I think if we're going to talk about this reboot, which is very good, I think. Like, J.J. Abrams kind of, the story he created in the first one was very good, especially with Rey's character. She was very well defined. But I feel like the whole universe they created, it was a bit basic.
Yeah.
Like, I would have loved to see something where it cuts quite a few ties from the rest. Yeah. And it's something completely new. It's a new era. Yeah. Like kind of what you see with the old Republic, which I'm not sure how much people know about that. Whereas like 2,000 years before the events of the prequels.
Oh, okay.
And that's very, often like novelization. Yeah. It's like an MMO video game. Yeah. So not many people know much about it, but it's like, it's very different to what you see. and I think it should have been a lot like that. Like, should have kept some ties from
like some
the
callbacks.
aftermath.
Yeah.
But it really just kind of, like, you made it a whole new empire again. Like, you see stormtroopers again, and no matter how different they look, how much different the mask looks, they're still stormtroopers.
They still
you
have...
made a new Death Star.
Yeah.
Like, you made Death Star the size of a planet.
It's like, you just call it a different name. Star Killer, same name, just switch them around.
You give the rebellion a different name, but it's the same. Like, Admiral Akbar's still there, for crying out loud. That's how you know it's still a rebellion.
Didn't he die in The Last Jedi?
He did.
He did. Oh, God damn it.
And I just think you had so much potential for, like, a completely new universe. Like, like, two, human sides, like, instead of, like, a galactic empire.
Yeah.
It's like two different, like, factions of, proper governments.
Yeah. I feel like that might also be, like, so would you say that Rogue One kind of did that? They kind of separated themselves, or like...
Yeah, I think...
not really, no, actually, yeah.
I think because Rogue One's it's a story within that universe, it's those kind of spin-off stories, like just that, there's spin-offs, there's something different.
Yeah.
They add more context to the era that they were made in.
Yeah.
But this is like Force Awakens, this new sequels. It's a whole new
thing that they have to face.
It's a whole new universe, 30, maybe even 50 years down the track.
Yeah.
It's a complete new universe, kind of different. Because, you got the Clone Wars, where it's like...
it's like...
Empire, separatists. There's so much different things there.
It's so much more political, that one. Because, like, then you also see, like, governments, like, deciding what side they want to take, depending on who they're wooed by.
Yeah, and I think that's probably half the reason why the prequels failed.
Yeah, because it was too much politics. They did too much talking.
Yeah, and the dialogue was pretty poor.
It was, that just... we could talk for hours and hours about how bad the prequels were.
Yeah. The only good thing about the prequels really is just the Clone Wars series.
Yeah, that was like the best part.
Yeah, only because, they've got so much more time to digest and think about these things. But I'm not going to settle on that. I'm kind of sick about talking about Star Wars.
Yeah, we'll move on because, like, I feel like we could just... For Star Wars in general, it's such a massive franchise that we could just talk about anything and everything about it and never hear the end of it.
Yeah, but like, the thing is, Star Wars, like, back in the day, 70s, that was so new and such a big risk.
Oh yeah, like anybody who grew up with those movies would say that, like, you'd never seen anything like it because it was like, what, like movies like Alien and that, did they come out after Star Wars or before?
Alien, I think, was after. I would think it was after.
Yeah.
Thing is, what I want to think about is, I don't think we're ever going to, in the near future or long-term future, I don't think we're going to even see the next Star Wars. Not as in, like, a franchise, like the next big thing like Star Wars, like Star Trek or Lord of the Rings, those massive franchises. Yeah. Because, simply put, Hollywood doesn't want to take the risks.
Yeah, because, like, it's a massive, what would you say, investment to get into a franchise that's that big.
Like, producers have a formula for things like the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah.
All those Star Wars, those franchises are massive, and they've got a formula that's so safe. And risk taking can either be really good or really bad for Hollywood.
Yeah.
Like, if you take a risk but you do it right, you're earning billions. You do it wrong, you lose billions. That's the thing.
Yeah.
They really don't want to take those risks anymore, which is probably why I'd say Hollywood's turning pretty badly.
Yeah, I think, just real quick, just touching on before, Star Wars, the first Star Wars came out in 1977, and then Alien came out in 1979. The first, one of the more popular kind of sci-fi movies, not so much a franchise, but like a really popular sci-fi movie, 2001: A Space Odyssey, came out in 1968. So that was, do you reckon that kind of helped spark like a interest in Star Wars for that generation, or?
I think 2001: A Space Odyssey, I haven't seen the film, I will be honest, but I think, sci-fi in that time was coming really different, like slowly. So Star Trek was also a thing before. Yeah. I was watching a video, it's like Star Wars was like, when you look at Star Trek, they would have the ship, like in outer space, they would have the ship, and it was like, it was still.
Yeah.
And you would moving the camera.
Yeah.
Now what Star Wars did is, I can't remember how they did it, but in those space battles they found a way to innovate. Like, go back to Star Trek. It was like slow.
Yeah.
It was like very like a chessboard kind of game, like that kind of slow. But then you come into Star Wars and it's fast. Like, you've seen it. You got the
X-wings coming around.
X-wings coming down for a bombing run. You got your what are the Imperial ships again?
TIE fighters.
The TIE fighters. They're coming in, from the side. It's so fast paced, and they innovated the way to capture that.
Yeah.
So I think when you think sci-fi was coming more and more innovative, and then Star Wars is coming in, and they just completely changed the game, like with all that universe.
Yeah.
But I think it was just sign of the times.
Yeah.
And Star Wars was the crown jewel.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like, I feel like there's always going to be some sort of movie like that, but none that are going to live up to Star Wars level.
We'll have to see, because one thing I want to talk about is the amount of Hollywood reboots that Hollywood is spitting out, and it disgusts me, really.
Well, yeah, because I remembered I did an assignment on this for uni, and I was just talking about how the lack of original ideas is going to affect Hollywood, and it's going to make us make movies very difficult to make.
Yeah, it's really hard, because if you look at like the movies that come out this year, like I remember in one of my uni classes they showed me like the top 10 movies for that week.
Yeah. 2
of them were new IPs, like intellectual properties.
Yeah.
The rest were based on like existing IPs. And some of them, it was like inspiration.
Yeah.
Like this was like the week like Beauty and the Beast and Get Out came out. And it's like, I think what's interesting to see is like the new IPs, the new completely fresh ideas are horror movies. Yeah,
so like Get Out was one of the first ones that made me kind of look at it and just like, holy shit, that's like an amazing concept for a movie, and it's almost completely original. Yeah.
Yeah, I think, and that's why the Oscars, I think, are really important, because they put a spotlight on this now.
Yeah.
Because I think all the new ideas, all the completely fresh ideas now, go through the Oscars.
Yeah, it's because you don't, like, the Oscars have already probably celebrated the ones that they're remaking.
Yeah.
But like, not for stuff like set design and stuff like that, but in terms of like screenplay but like a best original movie and stuff like that.
Yeah, but it's like, I remember you see so many concepts and like, really, you're making that. Like, they remade Kong Skull Island.
Yeah.
I watched that the other day. That was trash. They're remaking The Lion King, and they've remade Beauty and the Beast and The Jungle Book.
Yeah.
Live action.
The Jungle Book wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
It was like, the thing I'm just looking at is it's unnecessary.
Yeah.
Because like, look at also Ghostbusters.
Ugh.
They remade that, like, and as a standalone movie, it's not too bad, but since it's a remake, it's terrible, because you're like, well, why did you do it?
Yeah.
That movie was this 80s movie with like some of the most memorable characters and
concepts.
Yeah, it's like, and then you've just gone and remade it for no reason with all women.
Yeah.
The women, okay, that sounded really condescending, but the part, it has nothing to do with the fact that it's all women, because they're all fantastic actresses.
Yeah.
And they probably made the better part of the movie. But it's just like, why make it? Why redo it?
Yeah, there's so many movies now, I'm like, really, and it's a grab at money.
Yeah.
Like, they want to play, movies have always been about safe bets, market research, how will this work? It's, I think they're running out of ideas to try and get that, get that fresh ideas, concepts. And there are some still being made, but it's heading down a plan to like franchise. Yeah,
it's hard to like get a movie popular or make a movie popular when there's no real footing to show your audience.
Yeah, and there are kind of, for the non-IP, non-new intellectual property films, there are exceptions, like Ready Player One, like book to films have been a thing for ages.
Yeah.
and they've done beautifully. So like Harry Potter.
Harry Potter and the Twilight series and all that. Like they're not similar at all.
No, but
like,
in the sense of book to movies that were completely, successful. I think Twilight's a bit different because other people have like, just because of the nature of the book. But like, people look on Harry Potter in the films and they see so much like love and things put into that. And I think all the best Harry Potter fans are like fans of the books and movies alike, I would say.
Well, yeah, that's me because I've read all the books and I see you have the books right over there.
Yeah.
Have you read them?
I read up to halfway through number 6.
Okay.
Because I just remember like when I was little, Mum would always read them to me.
Yeah.
And that was the way to get me to sleep.
Well, yeah, that's the thing because I know my parents would have been. When did the first one came out in what, like 97, I think.
Yeah.
The first book. And then so like my parents and my grandparents would read them to me like since I was however little, and I'm sure you were the same. And I think that's just kind of like that connection that people have with the books. And then the movies themselves, they're not identical to the books, obviously, because it's hard to condense a book into a movie.
Yeah.
But it does well in, like, making its own identity as well as, honouring the book and its legacy.
Yeah. And I think going back to reboots quickly, like, most of them are total trash, and like half of them have The Rock in them. Like, like Kevin Hart. If you want to see a good reboot film, it's going to have not a good reboot film, but if you know it's going to be like shitty to get money because they've had The Rock for star power, they got Kevin Hart for star power.
Like, did you ever see Jumanji?
I did not see Jumanji.
Yeah, no, neither did I. I heard it wasn't too terrible though.
Yeah, I think it started off the trailer. Yeah, I'm gonna say it started off well. It had some teenagers. It looked alright, and then it came into the movie and that whole kind of gimmick of different gender, completely like different archetype to the one that the character they've been set in the game. I don't like that. It's just, it clashes, but that's just me. But I think there is exceptions when you do reboots well, is when you give a completely fresh take on it. Yeah, a complete overhaul. And my thinking of this, the 21-22 Jump Street. Yes. Because they are brilliant, hilarious films. And I think they work.
They did well, and everyone loved them. And I think it's just because they got the right people to write and direct it. Because if they got someone who's
basic, you've never heard of,
they'll pretty much just take the TV show and take all the best parts from that and put it in. But like what they did,
they only took the bare skeletal concept of the TV show, where it was people going to the high school to try and be cops undercover. And I think that it works so well when they completely overhauled it, with the witty comedy of Ice Cube, Channing Tatum, Jonah Hill. That's like a combo trio. The whole kind of devices they put in there was brilliant. It
really worked well, and it's like because they also had like a lot of things that the TV show couldn't really do, so they could really stretch the vulgarity and the everything else about that, because the TV show was very I've only seen a couple episodes before, but it was very very 80s, very 90s 80s, and it was good, but they just couldn't really stretch its wings like the movies did.
I mean, there's completely different themes and things like that, so that's fine. But I think there's other movies you look at and you're like, is that going to be good? Like, the one thing I know is going to be shit is they're making like a total Rampage movie. You remember from the video games?
I remember.
Starring The Rock. And it's like, he's like a zookeeper, and he's got like this like gorilla that he's bonded with. And then 3 days later, the monkey or the gorilla's 3 times its size, intelligent, and it's massive. And then there's this big ass wolf that breaks it out of prison, and then they just go destroying the city. And it looks bad.
I just don't. I don't know about that, because it's really dumb stuff like that. A Total Recall movie just wouldn't work because
they have tried.
like, oh wait, no, not Total Recall, Total Rampage. Sorry,
Yeah.
I just got my words mixed up. No, Total Rampage. It just wouldn't work because the game is so like.
The game was an arcade game.
Yeah.
Legit, there was no story to it, and all you did
was destroy shit.
Was destroy things and try not to get killed by the army.
Yeah, and just like, it won't work as a movie. It'll work as like a Black Mirror episode at best, or a Doctor Who episode, or a what do you call it? Something I can't remember. Never mind.
Yeah, and it's really unnecessary. And I think this whole reboot saga put a spotlight on something really worrying, is the video games to movies trend.
Yeah.
Which we've seen before, and I've never seen it work well.
Never really. Like, what do we have? We have Assassin's Creed, which came out recently.
It was I didn't see it, but my brothers did, and they said it was like it's a CG fest, and it just wasn't that great.
It wasn't awful. Wasn't good by any means.
But I think even by choosing Assassin's Creed, whose story I wouldn't say is the best with.
Well, there's so many options that you can do for Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
And they went with a new one, which was a bit of a leap.
Yeah. But problem I find is they stuck onto that kind of gimmick of having that person going back into their ancestors' memories. And I think that whole kind of element to Assassin's Creed, trying to tie it together, is terrible and should never have been done. Like, I would have been completely fine following a story of a different assassin every time.
Yeah.
But that's besides the point. Like, you had other films, like, obviously got to mention the Mario and Luigi shitfest that went down in the 90s.
What's your name? Mario. Last name? Mario.
Yeah.
Your name's Mario?
It was so bad, and now you've got a Lara Croft movie coming out.
I think that might be good. I have a really strong feeling it might be good.
Yeah, I think Lara Croft, they've rebooted her again. I think it's a character you can get done right.
Yeah, well, since the game had a massive overhaul, they pretty much redid the whole thing. It was like, okay, we need to make a good game again. Because like the original ones were really good, and then they dropped off. Probably around the same time they tried to make the Tomb Raider movies with Angelina Jolie.
Yeah.
And yeah, they didn't work well at all. They weren't good. But I think this one will be good because it's more Indiana Jonesy than anything else.
I haven't seen that trailer yet, so
yeah, it feels like the game too.
Yeah, but even with games, like you had like Pixels, Adam Sandler, Peter Dinklage. And I'm just looking at that, and I'm like, really? And yeah, it's bad, and
oh my god, bad doesn't sum it up at all.
Yeah, and I'm just trying to wonder how things like this are going to be good.
Yeah,
it's like how I just try and wonder how film executives who dabble in hundreds of millions of dollars say that idea is going to sell.
Yeah, and
I don't know.
Yeah, well, because. What other games have they done? They've done Doom with The Rock again.
Have they done that?
They did Doom. Yeah, no, it was 2003, I want to say they did it. And the only memorable part of that whole movie was this first person, like, moment, basically. Like, not even a whole scene. It was about 5 seconds, like 3 minutes, I think, of first person shooting like the game.
Yeah.
Which was amazing because that's pretty much all Doom is. A first person shooter where you go around and you can't jump and you can't look up and down. You just look side to side. Yeah,
I think there's been movies like that where they've used that gimmick. Like, I don't know if you heard of Hardcore Henry.
Yes, yeah, I did hear that, yeah.
That movie it was a full feature film with a guy with a GoPro on his head, and the story's been told for his first person.
Yeah.
And yeah,
it worked though, didn't it? It was like actually like well received.
Yeah, it's good for an indie film,
Yeah.
And yeah, there's
just like some, and what else is there? There's God, I was just thinking on right at the tip of my tongue. I can't remember. Just had a mental blank.
Yeah.
But like Mortal Kombat, of course.
Oh.
Because the first Mortal Kombat movie was really good.
Yeah.
And then they did the second one, which was really trash.
Yeah, but I feel like when you come through all these reboots, it really it's really opened the way this last year I found for horror.
Yeah.
Like you've had two of the best films of the year are horror, like Get Out and It.
And
it was a reboot in itself. But I think with horror, it's really coming through its own shell now.
Yeah.
And I think it puts a spotlight on these more original ideas.
Yeah.
So you've got things like, what else did I say? Like 3 Billboards, which I really want to see.
Yeah,
you've
that
got Shape.
awesome.
I'm going through all the Oscar frontrunners right now. Like Shape of Water. There's like other kind of movies that look exciting. Like Den of Thieves is coming out soon.
Yeah,
and that looks awesome. Really gritty and really kind of different. I'm keen to see how that works.
They have there's also Ladybird. That looks like it's like a dark comedy.
Yeah.
And it looks really freaking awesome, really.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it's important now in these age of reboots for these independent filmmakers or original ideas to really punch through the marketing and say, this is new, this is exciting, you will want to see this over the rest of this mediocrity.
Yeah, like this is like to shine through stuff like Marvel films and Disney films, which everyone knows you're going to go see.
Yeah.
You have to really make something special. And I think that's really good for filmmakers nowadays because it kind of pushes them to think of the next best thing.
And there's so many different avenues. So you can try and get, claims and, try and get accreditation and like credit through film festivals.
Yeah.
Before getting into, a full movie release. It also, you need to, pick your, your screening dates well.
Yeah.
So, they're filming Black Panther releasing Black Panther mid-February.
Yeah.
Right. How about we try maybe May when they're not releasing a film and it's on, that low key. So I think that's really important and picking, an audience that is going to love this film.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really presents an opportunity. And I think even an Australian film, like there's one I want to go see is like Sweet Country, where this Aboriginal man has shot a white fella.
Yeah, I saw the trailer for that last night.
My mum really wants to see it, so I'm probably going to see it sometime this week. And yeah, it's things like that.
Because that's an interesting story, and it's an Australian film, and Australian films always love to explore the different cultures around the country and stuff like that, and which will be really interesting, I reckon.
Yeah. Speaking of Australian film, I just want to know, Dundee. Is it happening?
No, it's fake.
It's fake.
It's a tourism ad for Super Bowl.
Okay. Because I'm just like, I have no idea because it looks real as hell.
I know.
Like, there's a whole trailer scene where the American son of Dundee is like meeting Chris Hemsworth. And it is such a good scene.
It's like, well, I don't know, because if they actually did decide to make that movie, it would be good, but it would not be good.
Yeah, like
it'd be like, fuck yes, Australia, but fuck no.
Yeah, I feel like if you did it like that and you made sure people knew it was like that, it would be like a standoff from the original Dundee. It's like a kind of comedic take, which, as I've said before, like 21 Jump Street can work.
Well, yeah, because they're so self-aware and they're so like, this is such a piss take of it, but it works.
But I don't think anyone's going to pay that much for the actors that they've presented.
Yeah, because
something like that.
Oh my god, we were talking about this in
like Chris Hemsworth, Isla Fisher.
Yeah, like I wrote down a list of them. Hang on, let me just like pull it up real quick. Hugh Jackman, Isla Fisher, Liam and Chris Hemsworth, Margot Robbie, Russell Crowe, Ruby Rose, Jessica Malboy, and Luke Bracey. Yeah,
it's such a big thing.
Like, that's a lot of that's pretty much Australian A-listers.
Yeah.
Like, can you god damn, that's amazing.
It's like every good person we have.
Everyone who isn't currently on Neighbours or Home and Away. Or
it's, it may as well be a Neighbours Home and Away reunion. Yeah. So, but yeah, that's that really. So it is definitely fake. Okay.
It is. I think so, because I'm still not sure. I looked it up last night. I went searching the web, and all I got was like a couple news articles saying like, turns out it's just an ad for Super Bowl. I was like, well,
is it though?
Or is it? I don't know, because its IMDb thing doesn't say anything. It's the only 3 people it has on there is Paul Hogan, Danny McBride, and Chris Hemsworth.
I think it might be fake.
I hope it's fake, to be honest.
But I just see it for the meme, to be honest.
Oh yeah, it'd be such a meme.
I see it for a piss take. But yeah. But yeah, that's, generally everything is Hollywood spit outs. But coming to more recent news, Hottest 100.
Yes, let's move away from movies and let's talk about music.
Yeah, so we had the celebrations.
Yeah,
over where we're recording now, my house.
Yes.
We were listening to it.
It was first. Let's just get this out of the way. It was on the day after Australia Day.
The day after Australia Day.
Which I don't care. I honestly don't care.
Yeah, I don't. I'm like, if it's such an issue for people, I don't mind celebrating on the 27th.
Well, that's the thing, because I know the past 2-3 years we've had our celebrations, at least, is for the Hottest 100. Yeah. That's what we've gotten together for.
Yeah.
Not really. Yeah, it's like that's a whole political thing that I
don't think
I'd rather
willing yet to get into.
Probably not even qualified to.
Yeah, really. But is anyone
qualified? Certain people are, certain people aren't.
But I feel like there's been surveys and it'd be 70-30 saying no, we want to keep it on 26th. But yeah, I think with a lot of things, that minority is so loud.
Yeah.
And we've seen that a lot of things, with and I'm not sure how well accurate this is, but the whole gay marriage thing. There was such a minority that was so loud.
Yeah, because it's all the people
on both sides.
Yeah, well, the people who wanted it were very loud about it.
Yeah.
Which is understandable because it's such a big thing for those people. But the people who didn't want it were also very loud about it. But they're the ones who are always shown on the news, because then the people who are in support of it always make an uproar about the people who aren't, and it's it's just a massive thing.
But anyway, back to the Hottest 100. I'm not very happy with it.
I was disappointed.
Yeah.
There was
some big names on there. I'm like, oh, you brought things out this year. Okay, you deserve to be there. I didn't realise Ballpark Music brought out new things.
Yeah.
Alt J I saw but never really listened to. I'll bring up the list now. But
it was well, yeah, I don't know, because the artists on there were massive, massive people.
Yeah.
And then the songs themselves were kind of not that great.
So people were saying Gang of Youths straight up robbed.
Yes, I agree with that though. But they had we're looking here. They had 2 in the top 5.
They had 2 in the top 5, 3 in the top 10. I believe.
Yeah.
Something ridiculous like that.
And
if my computer's gonna work, we'll get the full list up.
Number 1 is always gonna be disappointing.
Yeah. So I guess that, but I guess not, because last year I was ecstatic that Flume got it.
Yeah,
I
that's
love
true.
Flume he holds a very special place in my heart. His music, those Hilltop Hoods, Flume.
Yeah.
They were my childhood growing up. Around 2012, I got his debut album, and then I got the deluxe album for my birthday, and I just continue to still listen to shit out of that album today. Quite honestly, it's one of my favorite albums of all time.
Yeah.
But I think there will always be times where the number 1's going to be a bit disappointing.
Well, yeah, because I feel so this year, Humble, which I think everybody saw coming.
I didn't.
Anybody?
I didn't.
Did you? Are you really?
Out of pure retardedness, I thought, because I've been listening to a bit of Gang of Youths, but I wasn't kind of too into it.
Yeah.
So I thought Magnolia from Gang of Youths was going to get number 1.
That's true though, because that song
turned out that song fucking great.
Yeah.
Came out in 2015.
Really?
I didn't even realise. But my number 2, I thought was going to be Temptation by Joey Badass.
Yeah.
That song is a fucking banger.
It didn't
make the
top
100. And I am so mad about that.
Well, no, and then also stuff
things like Frank Ocean made 101.
Yeah.
101 for Frank Ocean.
And his album coming out was such a massive deal last year too.
Yeah. And then you see Big Shaq making number 54. But
that was a meme, and we were pretty happy about that.
Yeah.
You know what? Another thing I was surprised about, bloody Foo Fighters didn't get on there.
Yeah, I can kind of see that because
they're very mainstream.
They're very mainstream and in rock. Now, the mainstream artists that would vote on here and kind of, well, obviously it's kind of ruined the kind of lineup, are mainstream pop. They're like, Hottest 100, yeah, okay, I may as well vote. Oh, Humble, let's go Macklemore. Yeah. Let's go, I don't know, who else have we got here? Like, so many other things that people I've never heard of.
Yeah, well, Khaled.
Khaled. No, I'm all for Khaled.
Well, yeah, I get, but like his songs are like half mainstream and half alternative. Yeah. Purely because he's just, such a young upcoming artist, and it's so good. He is good. Who else have we got? That Baker Boy one, that was really good.
Yeah, I haven't even heard of him, but I'm like, he's an indigenous artist.
Well, that's his second song, and both of them were on
he put out 2 songs last year, both of which are on the Hottest 100, which is
because they called him up after his second one got on there, and he was he was over the moon.
Yeah.
Smith Street Band only had 2 on there.
Yeah.
This new album
is quite good.
Oh my god, it's amazing. I voted for 2 of their songs, so I voted for Passiona, which was on there, which was like 20. Oh no, it was like earlier than that. I can't remember.
Yeah, so I'll go through my votes because I got them right here somewhere. Because I screenshot them. So like for me, I voted through like quite a few indie stuff you would never have heard of. So like for me, I put Sally from Fundamentals because that is a banger, and that got number 8. I was very happy to see that. Queens of the Stone Age, I put in there. They got in like that song,
The Way You Used to Do. Yeah,
that's a really nice song.
See, I put Head Like a Haunted House by Queens of the Stone Age on there.
Oh yeah,
and that didn't get there, which I was disappointed about. But I'm glad that Queens got on there.
Yeah, DZ Death Ray's Shred for Summer. That got 67. They were a local Brisbane band.
I feel like they should have got more.
Knowing how small they are.
Yeah.
And how like local they are for a Brisbane rock band.
Yeah.
Really, they were like out of the 2 acts that headlined Foo Fighters, they were the first.
Yeah.
So they're really going places, but they don't have that momentum. But they're achieving such big things. And to see them get that recognition brought like a little piece on my heart. Like, yes. But yeah, I've voted for like things like British band Caspian.
Yeah.
Who make some really good songs. They've like headlined FIFA songs and stuff. I think it got in their past. None of the songs from their album got in there. Little bit disappointed about that. But yeah, the big one, as I'm always going to say, is Joey Badass with Temptation. Didn't even make it on the Hottest 100.
Yeah.
And that was such a big song. And one of the big problems with Hottest 100 is you got people voting for things like Post Malone.
Yeah, that's like...
Really? Like Portugal the Man even is like half it.
Yeah.
Things like that, such mainstream songs.
It's like, certain songs that you're just like... Yeah. Like, it's really...
Like Drake.
Yeah, fucking Drake. This list really does belong to people who you're like, okay, yeah, like these are people who not many people know of, and they've been on like Unearthed, Triple J Unearthed, stuff like the June Rats. They're still like
they're a pretty big band in that kind of Triple J ecosphere. And they only got 55.
Yeah, well,
they got.
I was listening to some June Rats the other day, and then I listened to some Nirvana as well.
Yeah.
Far out. It's hard to distinguish the two, and that's amazing to me because they're making brand new music that's just as like headbanging and as like heartfelt as Nirvana.
Yeah.
And like that's like really hard to come by.
Yeah. And I feel like June Rats are like the biggest. They kind of epitomise the bogan element of Australia, and I have no problem with that. Well, they are so good.
Their song Scott Green, I think, kind of encapsulates them. Yeah. Let's just... Okay, so this shout out goes to our boy Adam George. Follow him on YouTube and Snapchat. Yeah. Boys by Charlie XCX.
Easily his favourite song, probably for the year, probably for a while now. That came on at number 60, and I think everyone kind of got up and just started, like, just going out.
Every single one of us just went,
the dance, just because it's such a good song.
It is a good song, and it's like, It's yeah, you know.
Yeah.
It just kind of yeah.
Just gonna say the Jungle Giants really sweeped up.
They did. How many did they have this year?
They had like 5.
Yeah.
And I'd say a bit more than that. But yeah, there's quite a few things like.
I didn't know the Rubens had a new song now.
Yeah, me neither.
Is that a whole new album or just?
I think it's just a whole new song, but there's like quite a few things here. Like the Leica versions that came up, I was quite happy to see. Like Electric Feel by Tash Sultana, the Magnolia, Blighted by Gang Youths. Maybe original one wasn't up for voting though.
No, I'm surprised
to see that.
Ballpark Music did a My Happiness cover.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that didn't get on there because that was a Leica version as well.
Yeah, but that Paul Kelly didn't make it in, but I think that was a little bit surprising. Yeah,
like because he's.
But what's his album like? Was it Life Is Fine? I haven't listened to it. So was it? Was it any good?
It was pretty good.
It's pretty good.
There was some bangers on there.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
It wasn't gonna be like go up with your highest songs.
It wasn't like we'll like give him an award for it, but it was good.
Yeah. And
like it's Paul Kelly, like.
Yeah. I was just surprised to see the AB, the UAB original cover of Dumb Things, which was massive. That didn't get on the, and I could be wrong. Could have come out 2016, and I'm just really.
Yeah. Did AB Original have anything? Did they release anything last year?
I believe they did. Yes.
Did they have anything on the?
I don't think so. AB Original's a fairly new band, and
but I feel like
very political.
Yeah.
And that doesn't quite fit in. Which I know, but they're a very political band, and one of the lead singers, rappers. Excuse me.
Bless you.
He's a very busy man. Like, he's like kind of like an Australian Donald Glover, I'd say, with what he does.
Like he's just everywhere.
He's everywhere. Because I just want to just highlight this quickly. Because let me tell you what he does. He's a solo artist.
Yeah.
Who released a song last year.
Yeah.
He's made AB Original, a very political band about Indigenous rights.
Yeah. He started
his own music label called Bad Apple Records.
Yeah.
For young Indigenous artists. He's a writer.
Yeah.
So he appears on The Weekly every week with Charlie Pickering.
Yep.
And he's started writing a TV show with Matt Groening.
Whoa.
He's a busy man.
That's a busy man.
So he's definitely a creative powerhouse in that kind of Indigenous and Australian kind of sense.
Yeah.
So he's definitely one to watch because I think
he's going places.
He will go places, and he's very, very good. But
yeah, that's good.
One other thing, I didn't realise the Killers.
Yeah, no, like because I
had no idea.
Didn't they toured last year? Didn't they?
I wouldn't know. Honestly.
I think it was last year.
Yeah.
And like that was massive. I honestly can't remember because last year went by so quick.
Yeah, I didn't even realise Vance Joy brought something out. Like I recognised the song, but I just didn't know it was Vance Joy.
That's a good song too. Like.
Yeah, but I remember a lot of people were mad about like Gang of Youths getting number 2 or just being generally robbed.
They are. My mum went to go see them last year. She said that it was one of the best concerts she's ever been to. It was at the Tivoli. It would have been.
I think I heard.
Euphoric.
Yeah, but I remember someone saying on a certain Instagram video that they put on their spam account. I won't say who because you probably don't know him, but it's like Gang of Youths has kind of changed the way we see Australian music or how we kind of see Australian music and like kind of innovated. And I'm quoting here. So and for that to kind of be put under Humble is really
because Humble had so much time to kind of fizzle out.
Yeah.
It's a good song. We're not taking that away from it.
We're not taking that away from Kendrick. It's Kendrick Lamar. He produces banger after banger.
Dude did the soundtrack for.
He's doing the soundtrack
for Black Panther.
Yeah.
Which was at the premiere the other night. Apparently, fantastic film, which I'm not surprised by.
Yeah.
But Kendrick Lamar is a great artist.
Although I think his marquee song "Humble" here. I still think "All Right" and King Kunta is just a better song.
King Kunta was amazing.
Yeah, "To Pimp a Butterfly" I think in general is such a better album.
Yeah.
Purely because he's tried something different. He put jazz into it and all that, and such a different sound.
Yeah.
He's gone a lot more mainstream with this, but I think that's just a sign of the times and the caliber of who he's becoming.
Well, I don't know if that's who he's becoming, because he's like, I think he just puts what he wants into the music, and I think he's also smart enough to know how to reach an audience and what he has to do that, and that was...
Yeah. I think it really signifies his talent when he opens up the Grammys with a brand new song.
Oh yeah, that's a ballsy move.
That is ballsy. A brand new song you've never shown before, and you put it in the Grammys. Like, that takes confidence.
It does. Because, like, you don't see anyone else doing that, really.
No, you
like, because you'll get people who have just released a single, and then they'll do that single on stage. Yeah. But you won't get people who haven't released a song at all. Yeah.
Because I think it's pretty fair to say that Kendrick Lamar's on his way to becoming, the heights of the Kanyes, the Jay-Z's.
Oh, I feel like he's already past that. Not like, maybe not so much
past it, but you
he's
on
see him the same level. I feel like
that same level. Yeah.
Well, I've always seen him like that. I thought he's always been up there with those guys, and
I think this new record has solidified that. Because thing with those Jay-Z's, like, Jay-Z was asked to do the Super Bowl, but I think he's popular. He declined. Yeah. Like, usually if you get offered to do Super Bowl halftime, that is massive.
Bloody well do it.
And you do that.
Yeah.
But he's so popular and he's so big that it's not going to hurt him. And he's just going to say, no, I think I might pass. He's that big, and I feel like...
Who's doing it now then?
Oh no, I think it was a while ago. I just remember seeing a report on it. Okay. I don't know who it is. It's...
Because last year was... Gaga, yeah.
Yeah.
Or the year before, I can't remember.
Yeah, let me see, Super Bowl.
Yeah. I would, real quick, dude, my cousin went to the Fooey's concert the other night. Holy shit. He said he was right up the front, like the very front. He said he was about 5 meters away from Dave Grohl at any given time. He sent me a video. Holy crap, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I was so jealous. They opened up with Run, which is a banger, and...
Yeah, I remember seeing Snapchats and someone's like, just break your leg already, Grohl. Yeah. That's what we want to see. But yeah, it's crazy. Like, but for that Super Bowl halftime performance, it's Justin Timberlake this year. Oh. Which is interesting.
Yeah. He hasn't released a new song recently, has he?
I think he has. But
has he?
I can't remember. But yeah, that's all the topics we have for today. Yeah. So it's been about a good hour, I'd say.
I feel like it's been a little bit.
Yeah.
No, it's good.
No, I'm pretty...
Good conversation, good topics. I feel like we've stirred the pot.
Yeah. Yeah, if you've listened this far...
If you've kept listening.
If you've managed to put up with our shit this past hour or so, thank you very much.
Yeah.
But... yeah, be sure to stay tuned for the next one.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Yeah, but seriously, this is the first thing, so we're fairly new. So if you have any comments or
helpful
tips for us, we're always listening. So you can find it. But we have Facebook. We have Instagram. We have Snapchats.
Chances are, if you're listening to this, you know us. So just personal message us.
Yeah, but yeah, anything like that, we're more than happy to get feedback or constructive criticism. We're all creatives. That's how it works. So yeah, thanks for listening to episode number 1 of the
Poorly Timed
podcast.
Yeah, and as you said, like when we did a test one of these, it's another poorly timed ending.
Yeah. So thank you very much.
Thanks very much.
We'll see you in the next one.